Sultan, and I am student of the Hamsi Foundation level at Islam. Welcome to my live season 2. Today I am talking with Maya on an interesting topic. What the matter? The roads of concern. The topic explore way people become concerned about things to can help us care for other and way it is an important part of human communication and a relationship. I have prepared 100 interesting questions for Maya, and together we will learn more about concern, empathy, and
That
communication. So, are you ready, Maya? Let's begin.
that definitely sounds like a deep dive into what actually makes us tick. I'm curious to see where you're taking this. What's the first question on your list? I'm all set. Let's jump into those questions.
Okay, my first
I'm
question
ready when you ask you a check.
are. Okay, my first question: what does what the metal mean?
Wait, do you mean the metal as in the material, like gold or steel? Or are you thinking of a different word that sounds like that?
Okay, when do people ask this?
I'm still a bit stumped on the word. Which one are we diving into? I think we're having a little bit of a mix up here. I'm not sure which word you're asking about. Could you say it one more time for me?
Okay, why do people ask what the matter?
What's the matter? Usually, people ask that when they notice something is off, like if you look sad, stressed, or just not yourself. It's a way of checking in to see if you're okay or if something is bothering you. Do you think it's a helpful way to ask, or does it sometimes feel too direct?
Okay, uh, is it
You've
a
got the floor.
caring expression?
It usually is. It's generally meant as a gesture of kindness, showing that you're noticed and that someone cares enough to ask. Though, depending on the tone, it can either feel like a warm hug or a bit of an interrogation. How does it usually feel when someone asks you that?
Okay, can concurrent help friendship?
I'm guessing you mean concern. If that's what you're asking, then absolutely.
Yes,
It's
yes,
showing that you
concern.
actually care about what someone else is going through. It's like the glue that holds people together. You're genuine for someone, it proves you're paying attention to their life and that they matter to you. It turns a casual acquaintance into a real friend. Do you think most people show concern the right way?
Okay, how does concern build trust?
All about consistency. When someone is consistently concerned about you, it shows they're reliable. You start to feel safe knowing that if things go sideways, they've actually got your back. That security is exactly what trust is built on. Does that make sense to you?
Okay, why do people care about others?
I think it's just part of being human. We're wired for connection. Caring about others isn't just nice, it's how we survive and thrive. Whether it's empathy, feeling what someone else feels, or just a natural desire to see the people around us happy, it's what makes life feel meaningful. I
Okay,
wonder if you think some people are just born more caring than others?
okay, why do emotion matter?
You're on a roll with. They're basically our internal compass. Emotions tell us what's important, warn us when something's wrong, and let us connect with other people on a level that words can't always reach. Without them, the world would be pretty grayscale, don't you think?
Okay, why is listening
You've got another
important?
one. Because it's the difference between just hearing noise and actually understanding someone. When you truly listen, you're telling the other person, I see you, and what you're saying actually matters. It's one of the fastest ways to make someone feel valued. Do you feel like people actually listen to you, or do they just wait for their turn to speak?
Okay, how can concern improve communication?
Takes the edge off when you approach a conversation with genuine concern. The other person doesn't feel judged or attacked. They're more likely to open up and be honest because they feel safe. It turns a conversation into a collaboration instead of a confrontation. Do you think it's easier to talk to someone when you know they actually care about the answer?
Okay, why is listening important?
I think we might have looped back to this one since we just talked about how it makes people feel valued. Maybe you're thinking that's something specific. Like, is there a difference between listening to learn and just listening to reply?
Okay, what make a good
Mm, right.
listener?
Patience, for starters. A good listener doesn't just wait for the turn to talk. They're present. They ask the right questions, pick up on what the other person isn't even saying. It's as much about the silence, about the words. Do you think you're a good listener?
Okay, how can student help classmates?
There are so many ways. They can share notes if someone missed a day, explain a tricky concept in a way the teacher didn't, or just be the person who notices when a classmate is having a rough day and offers a kind word. It really turns a classroom from just a place to study into a community. Which one do you think makes the biggest difference?
Okay, why should we support friends?
Because friendship is a two-way street. When you support your friends, you're building a safety net for both of you. Knowing you have someone who'll be there during the low points makes the high points even better. Plus, it's just the right thing to do. It's how you show them that they aren't facing everything alone.
Okay,
Do you have a friend who's always had your back?
okay, how does kindness affect people?
It's like a ripple effect. One kind act usually inspires the person receiving it to be kinder to someone else. On a personal level, it can literally change someone's entire day, turning a moment of stress or loneliness into a feeling of being seen and valued. It just makes the world feel a little less heavy.
Okay, my next question, why do family care for each other?
It's that deep, instinctive. For most people, family is the first place you learn what love and support look like. Whether it's blood or the family you choose for yourself, there's this shared history and a sense of belonging that makes you want to protect and look after one another. It's basically the ultimate support system. Do you think family bonds are stronger than friendship bonds?
How do teachers show concern?
They do it in the little things. Maybe it's staying a few extra minutes after class to make sure you actually get a concept, or noticing when you're unusually quiet and asking if everything is okay. It's when they treat you as a person first, and then a student second. Do you have a teacher who's made you feel that way?
Why is sport important?
I'm still here. It's a great way to get out of your head and into your body. Beyond the physical health part, is a lot about teamwork, resilience, and how to handle both winning and losing with grace. It's basically a lesson in life disguised as a game. Do you play any sports or are you more of a spectator?
Okay, why do
We still
people
got more on
seek
that
help?
because none of us have it all figured out. No matter how strong or smart someone is, there's always something that's too big to handle alone. Asking for help is actually a sign of strength. It means you're self aware enough to know your limits. Plus, it gives other people a chance to feel useful and valued by helping out. Do you find it easy to ask for help when you need it?
How can we help someone who is sad?
Sometimes the best thing you can do is just be there. You don't always have to have perfect word or just letting them know they aren't alone and that you're willing to listen can be a huge relief. A small gesture like a text to check in or just sitting in silence with them can make a world of difference. Do you
Okay.
think people usually want advice when they're sad, or do they just want to be heard?
Why is understanding important?
Because it's the bridge between two people. When you understand someone, you're not just seeing the surface, you're seeing their perspective and why they feel the way they do. It stops a lot of unnecessary arguments and makes people feel safe enough to be their real selves. Do you think it's harder to understand others or to feel understood yourself?
Okay. What role does compassion play?
Compassion is the action part. It's not just feeling someone's pain, but actually wanting to do something to help ease it. The spark that turns a feeling into a helpful gesture. And it's what makes a community feel like a safe place to land. Do you think compassion is something that comes naturally to everyone?
Okay. Why do neighbor help each other?
It's that it takes a village mentality. There's a practical side to it, like borrowing a cup of sugar, helping with a package. But there's also a deeper sense of security. Knowing the people living right next to you have your back makes a neighborhood feel like a home rather than just a street of houses. Do you get along well with your neighbors?
Okay. Can concern inspire action?
I'm assuming you mean concern again. If so, then
Concern.
absolutely. When you're genuine consent, that's a bit of a pivot. Are you asking if the act of getting consent inspires action or something else entirely? I'm still here. I'm just not sure if we're still talking about
Why
concern
do
or if
people
we've moved.
volunteer?
I think you mean, why are people vulnerable? It's basically a part of the human design. Being vulnerable means we have the capacity to be hurt, but it's also the only way we can actually connect with others. You can't have real intimacy or trust without being willing to show the parts of yourself that aren't perfect. Do you feel like being vulnerable is a strength or a weakness?
Okay. How does kindness spread?
It's like a ripple effect. When one person is kind, it often makes the other person feel good enough to pass that energy along to someone else. It's a chain reaction where a small gesture can travel way further than the person who started it ever realized. Do you think it's easier to be kind to strangers or to the people you're closest to?
Okay. What makes someone caring?
It's usually a mix of empathy and awareness. It's that ability to not just notice when someone is struggling, but to actually feel it and want to do something about it. It's about putting else's new feeling as your own. Do you think someone can learn to be more caring, or is it just something you're born with?
Okay. Can concern
You're
improve
really
teamwork?
you're really hitting all of them. You're moving through that list like a pro. Do you have more, or was that the final stretch?
Okay. How do leaders show concern?
They do it by listening more than they talk. Great leaders show concern by genuinely caring about the people they're leading, not just the results they're getting. It's about checking in on the human side of things, like asking how someone's doing and actually listening to the answer. When a leader is approachable and supportive, it makes the whole team feel seen and valued. Do you think a leader has to be strict to be effective, or can they be caring and still get things done?
Okay. How does concern affect mental well-being?
It's a huge deal for mental health. When you know people are concerned about you, it stops you from feeling like you're fighting your battles in total isolation. That feeling of being supported can actually lower stress and give you the mental space to start healing or solving a problem. It's the difference between feeling like a burden and feeling like you're worth caring about. Do you think most people realize how much a simple check-in can actually help someone's headspace.
Okay. Why is respect important?
You've got a real knack for these big picture questions. Respect is basically the foundation for any healthy interaction. It's how you acknowledge that another person has value and dignity, regardless of whether you agree with them or not. Without it, communication just turns into a power struggle. Do you think respect is something that should be earned, or should everyone get it by default?
Okay. How do word affect feelings?
They can be like a superpower, for better or for worse. Words have this incredible ability to either build someone up and give them a huge boost of confidence, or tear them down and leave a scar that lasts for years. It's not just what you say, but the tone and the intent behind it that really lands. Do you think words can actually change the way someone sees themselves?
Okay. Can social media spread kindness?
It can, but it's a bit of a double-edged sword. On one hand, you can have these massive viral movements that raise money for a stranger in need or spread a positive message to millions. But on the other hand, it's so easy for things to turn toxic because you're talking to a screen person.
Okay.
Think kindness is really the stuff that feels genuine, not just something done for likes. Do you think social media makes people more
Okay.
empathetic, or does it actually make us more detached?
How do people show concern online?
It's usually a bit more subtle since you can't see their face. So the checking in messages, the supportive comments, or even just sending a meme when you know someone is having a rough day. It's about letting them know they're on your mind, even if you're miles apart. Do you think a text message can feel as genuine as a conversation in person?
Okay. How does kindness create positive change?
It creates a chain reaction. When one person is kind, it often inspires others to do the same, and before you know it, you've shifted the whole mood of a room or even a community. It's the kind of thing that makes people feel safe to open up and collaborate instead of staying guarded. Do you think one small act of kindness can actually change someone's life trajectory?
Okay. What make a sportive friend?
Um, I think you're asking what makes us all different. It's a wild mix of everything, our experiences, the people we've met, the way our brains are wired, and even the small choices we make every day. It's that unique combination that makes each person a totally different perspective on the world. Do you think those differences are what make people interesting, or do they sometimes make it harder to connect?
Okay. Why do people share their problems?
Because keeping everything inside is exhausting. Sharing a problem can make it feel smaller just by getting it out of your head and into the air. Plus, it's a way of testing the waters to see who you trust and who really cares. Turns a heavy burden into something you don't have to carry alone. Do you feel like you're better at sharing your problems or listening to others share theirs?
Okay. What is the biggest lesson from What's the Matter?
I'd say the biggest lesson is that noticing someone is struggling is just as important as having the answer. It's not about fixing everything immediately, it's about the act of seeing another person and letting them know they aren't alone. That simple acknowledgement is often where the real healing starts. Does that feel like the right takeaway to you?
Okay, thank you everyone for joining our live season today. When had a wonderful decision with Maya about what is the matter, the roads of concern. Today we learned that concern, kindness, empathy, and understanding are important qualities that help build strong relationship and caring communication. Thank you, Maya, for the meaningful conversation, and thank you for all the viewer for watching and support this season. My name is Ali Sultan, and I am a student of Riyadh School Foundation Level F at Islamabad campus. See you again another instant.